Petronas turned to a profit of 13.35 billion ringgit for the fourth quarter of FY21 from losses of 1.14 billion ringgit a year ago on the back of an improved performance of the upstream, natural gas and new energy segments. According to the state oil giant, this was attributable to favourable average realised prices for all products. The improvements more than offset higher product losses and wider losses in the downstream segment due to higher impairment loss on assets. Revenue rose 73.9% to 76.57 billion ringgit from 44.04 billion ringgit. Notably, Petronas' FY21 net profit came in at a three-year high of 48.6 billion ringgit against 21.03 billion ringgit in losses for FY20. This was thanks to favourable price impacts of major products in line with higher average realised prices. It maintained its dividend payout to the government at 25 billion ringgit. Petronas also paid 3.3 billion ringgit in state sales tax last year and 1.4 billion ringgit in contributions for CSR projects in 2020 and 2021. In FY21, cash flow from operations expanded to 78.6 billion ringgit, up 93% from 40.7 billion ringgit the year before. Malaysian crude palm oil or CPO prices topped 8,000 ringgit a tonne for the first time as buyers rushed to secure replacements for sunflower oil shipments from the top exporting Black Sea region that were disrupted by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The price of March 2022 CPO rose by 719 ringgit to 8,170 ringgit. According to a Reuters report, the commodity has become the costliest among the four major edible oils for the first time. Citing a Kuala Lumpur-based edible oil dealer, the report said Asian buyers traditionally relied on CPO because of low costs and quick shipping times, but now they're paying more than $50 per tonne premium over soy oil and sun oil. The dealer said CPO's price premium is temporary, however, and could fade in the next few weeks as buyers shift to soy oil for April shipments. The Black Sea accounts for 60% of world sunflower oil output. Ports in Ukraine will remain closed until the invasion ends. Meanwhile, soybean production in Argentina, Brazil and Paraguay is expected to fall because of dry weather. Citing an Indian refiner, the report also highlighted that most of the incremental demand for CPO is fulfilled by Malaysia, as Indonesia has put restrictions on the exports. He said Malaysian stocks are depleting fast because of the surge in demand, and the country is the biggest beneficiary of the current geopolitical situation. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob says the government expects its tax revenue collection to return to pre-pandemic levels by meeting or surpassing the target of 139 billion ringgit this year. According to a Bernama report, the Premier said the Inland Revenue Board or IRB will need to formulate short and mid-term strategies to achieve the target while maintaining its good performance in the future. These measures, he said, include identifying new economic sectors and implementing the tax laws in a transparent, effective and efficient manner. Indirectly, the effort will increase the Malaysian family's trust and ensure that taxpayers fulfill their responsibilities. According to the report, the IRB's revenue collection jumped 17% year-on-year to more than 140 million ringgit in 2021, as the country's gross domestic product grew by 3.1% compared with a 5.6% contraction in the previous year. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki says $10 million in assets and money linked to ex-Goldman Sachs Group banker Tim Leissner's dealings with former Astro Malaysia Holdings Group CEO Datuk Rohana Roshan have been frozen. He told reporters at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya today that the agency is investigating the matter under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. He confirmed that the MACC has taken Rohana's statement and will be calling other individuals to facilitate investigations. He also did not rule out the possibility of calling Rohana in again. Efforts are being made to repatriate the money, he said, adding that the MACC will also need assistance from the Attorney General's chambers for information from the US. When asked if Leissner could potentially be called to assist in investigations here, Azam said that as the trial is still ongoing, it would be best not to comment further. Meanwhile, Azam also clarified it is the police and not the MACC that are investigating ex-Bank Negara Governor Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz's husband, Datuk Taufik Aiman, for purported money laundering of funds belonging to 1MDB. He said the task of the anti-graft body is to ensure the return of 1MDB's funds in Taufik's Singapore bank account. REKA Corp has joined 26 other affected listed issuers under PN17 after Bursa Malaysia Securities rejected its application to extend the relief period, which ended on February 26th. The company made the application on February 8th. REKA first triggered the criteria for PN17 in August 2020 after its auditors highlighted a material uncertainty relating to its ability to continue as a going concern regarding its audited financial statements for FY20, and its shareholders' equity had fallen to 77.51 million ringgit or 42.67% of its 181.29 million ringgit share capital as at end FY20, which was below the required 50% threshold. At the time, REKA was not classified as a PN17 issuer due to the relief measures announced by Bursa during the pandemic. In its latest Bursa filings, the construction company said it had again triggered the prescribed PN17 after its external auditors, Crowe Malaysia, highlighted a material uncertainty relating to the company's ongoing concern in its FY21 audited financial statements. REKA said it is now in the midst of formulating a plan to regularize its financial condition and that it will make relevant announcements on that in due course. REKA's share price settled 2.68% higher at 76.5 cents, giving it a market capitalization of 174.26 million ringgit.